Hello, my name is Heather Aston and this is my channel, TT's Trinkets and Treasures. If this is the first time that you've stumbled upon one of my videos in this little corner of the World Wide Web known as YouTube, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. I hope that you will find this video informative and entertaining enough that you'll want to hit that subscribe button and change the notification bell to all so that you never miss the release of one of my new videos in the future. If you are a returning video, I love you, my treasures. You guys are why I keep doing this. If you all wouldn't mind taking a moment to hit that like button, and after the video, maybe leave me a comment, let me know what you thought of it, and if there was anything you wanted me to showcase in a future video. So, here's the thing. I know, it's like 10:30, late at night, I can't sleep, and I have so many ideas that I want to knock out some great pieces that can go, like bracelets that can go with many different designs that I've been doing, because I am mixing May and June boxes and turning it into one collection. Now, with that being said, yes, I already had, okay, what is my hair doing? I've already made, that only made it worse, didn't it? It's okay, Heather. It doesn't matter. Alrighty. I had already made a lot of designs using just the May box from Bead Box last month. But I got so many extra beads through companion bundles and value bundles and all of that stuff that I've got plenty left over to keep creating. And I kind of did the same thing this month, which, if you were on my earlier live, you already know. Okay, I got some people watching. Let's see who they are. Hello, Leah. Hello, Brandy. I was bored, decided I need to come on. I have so many beads, so we're just going to play. We're going to have fun. I hope that you are able to design right along with me. I think it will be a lot of fun. One of the first things that I want to try, I want to do with the little, you just had them out, Heather. What did you do with them? The little rhinestone pendants that are like sliders. I know I just had some up here. It's okay. I bought plenty. I can pull out of the back. So, there you go, Leah. I took my tweezers out of the mat. I showed like a view earlier where my tweezers were like sitting right smack dab, like stabbed through my beading. What was I coming to get? Oh yes, I know what I was coming to get. Had to think about it for a moment. Wrong bundle, that one's from Bernie. And I will be using some of them, like interchangeably. I'm still going to add things from Bargain Bead Box or Dollar Bead Box or anything like that, but it's fine. I was just in my bead room organizing your Silco beads. They're hiding. Got you. That always happens, right? Okay, so I'm talking about these little, like, cubic zirconia beads. There's so much stuff on my mat. I'm going to have to pull Pixie down. And it has a larger hole, but even looking at that, I don't think this is going to make it through that hole. It is not. I'd hoped that it would, but I have other designs. Leah and I talked about it earlier. So we'll figure it out. I will figure out how those are supposed to be used. Okay, I'm going to put you up top for a minute so I can drop Pixie down a little bit so it's not like taking up my entire bead mat. I did not clean it off after my unboxing earlier, so I'm just trying to put some of the beads that were up there back on and take off any beads that don't belong. Which, is there such a thing as not belonging? I don't know. You can always spin a bead combination, in my humble opinion, and still wind up with a great result. Okay, we've got to get those pearls out of there, because your girl will most definitely feel them. I will tell you this. I made some teeny tiny sterling silver jump rings in between my lives, hoping that they would go through the holes of the little silver links. Unfortunately, they did not. Those are going to need like special consideration. Hold on, I just dropped my silver bead caps that I wanted to use for this video, rather than open up another bag and leave those down there to get ran over. I'd rather just pick them up now. Okay. In case anyone is wondering, I have every tool imaginable out. I have my 6-step bail making pliers. I have my nylon jaw pliers, my new, come on, Pixie, why aren't you where you're supposed to be? Ugh. You don't need to show my mess, my friend. Okay, so this is what I had left out. I also had these beads pulled out that just from opening the companion bundle. So we've got a few of these. One of the first things that I want to create is I want to interject some more green into this palette, and not just by using the tiger cherry quartz, because unless your local bead store has some, or you ask me to go personal shopping for you at Bernie's, you may or may not be able to find them. So I'm talking just about the cherry quartz, whatever, the beading wire. Yes, I was using 22 gauge sterling silver wire and they were too big. So I'm gonna have to use 24, or yeah, I'm probably gonna have to use 24 gauge wire, and then I'm gonna have to work harden the jump rings. So that will be interesting. Or I'll just create little loops and put something in the middle and put the loop directly into the follow. You know what? I think that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so let's grab my couple of extra branches. I didn't get very many. You know, just one or two is all. Oh, wait, that says 30. Yes, I went overboard, but it's okay. All right, so let me grab out a couple of these. They come in 4-piece packs. That should be good. I talked to Leah after the live earlier, and she was like, I saw that bag. I saw that you just said, oh, and I got some of those branches. Showed the bag and then passed it off. Yes, I did buy a bunch of those because I love them that much. But I will tell you that one of the ones I just brought up, or I thought I brought up from underneath my bead mat, but maybe I didn't. Oh, yeah, maybe I didn't. Some of them only had 3 leaves instead of 4, and that was all. The rest of these have 4. I don't mind. It just changes up the variation of what I'm able to do with them. So, and I have a itty bitty little stacker right here to put stuff like this in, so that I don't lose them. Yeah, all the rest of these have 4. Oh, nope. Do I have one in this one? No, they all have 4 leaves. Now I gotta find that one, because it's like a 4-leaf clover, you know. It's a one of a kind. Okay. I think that's plenty. I'm gonna have to get out some of my thin wire, so I need to see if 24 can fit through there. If not, I have 26. Where's my 24 gauge solar wire? Come on. That is 20. That's also 20. That's like 16 or 14 gauge, which won't do me any good. I wonder if this will be thin enough. That's 20 gauge as well. Okay, let me see if this will go through the hole. It does, but barely. Oh, goodness. Is it like that on both ends? No, this side goes through just fine. It's just this one because this leaf is bent up a little bit. So it's going to take a little bit of extra finagling, but hey, I'm a pro at finagling by now. I've been doing this so long. So I'm just going to cut some little strands. I don't think that I want to, oh, I will be putting them in a jar. Yeah. As soon as we're done here. That's why I have them sitting right here. And I'll empty out the rest of them probably when we're done. This is probably way too long of wire, so let's just see if it is or isn't. Okay. So, what do we want in between these? I am going to do one of the strawberry quartz strawberry links once I have those. That is definitely going to be happening. I could also do these with alcohol ink and like paint the center brown and the leaves green. Wonder how that would look. I love the sterling silver though. Okay. Any suggestion you're gonna go make hairpins and hair? Brandy, did you see the product that I found? Girl, you gotta check it out. They're little clippies that you can put on a regular hair tie, and you get 60 of them for $6. I shared the link in today's live in the video comments, so I can send it to you again. So they come out to like 10 cents, and that's where you can put all your extra like charms that you weren't going to use. I love these. These and the red ones that came in the original box. I just love the deep dark red. So we have those. I don't know if those will work for what I'm thinking. Faceted strawberry quartz. Come on, Heather. I think I'm going to think on this for a minute. I gotta think. That's gonna take a minute. And if you start seeing smoke coming out my ear, just start yelling, abort, abort. I'll hear you. Sorry. I'm in a good mood, so I can't sleep, but that's okay, because I'm in a good mood. So how about we got the little strawberry charms in the companion bundle. These are not the companion bundle, they're the regular ones. But I do see these little silver bracelet bars that I happen to know that some people were having a hard time designing with these. I'm literally going to use, yes, it's right there, my bracelet bender. I just knocked over a thing of seed beads. And they're only my new favorite color, so I don't want to lose them. And I actually found some wire in my stash that matches this like deeper, darker, reddish, coppery color. I found this wire in my stash and it's like the same color. And I'm obsessed. That will be a link bracelet that I'm going to do tonight as well because it's just, I don't know where I got it, but they're absolutely beautiful. I have these little green leaves. I wonder what it would look like to like put that together. Let's see, what else do we want to do? So we have the various strawberry quartz. Ooh, we have those flower beads. Those are antique silk. That's fine. It doesn't have to be. You guys know I've never done a front closure necklace, but we're doing bracelets tonight. But it's another one of the things I'm trying to challenge myself with. So, this is the mixed bicone rondelle bead mix. I don't want that, but I did get some larger green beads and these little bird beads as my thank you gift for this order. So, let's do something with these and just go with the lightest cherry quartz or the sparkles cherry quartz that has the same shimmer on it right here. And then we'll just add the birds in. Either I'll probably do it as a charm, to be honest, because it's drilled top to bottom, which I don't know how that would look, but if I just do this as like a little focal, that will be cute. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I know I already have one of these strands open, but that's okay. Hello, why do you not want to come up? What the heck? I only clipped one of the strands, not both of them. There we go. Okay. Oh, I do want to show you guys. I know, aren't they? Like, you probably have paint everywhere else. They're not working. Yeah, it is. It can be tricky because, especially because alcohol ink markers, so say that I did the branch first in brown and then went in to do the green on the leaves. If my marker touched anywhere on the brown, it would turn green. So that's, you know, you have to look for those. Do I want? Yeah, I do want those. But the next one, I think I might do these rondelles because they're really pretty too. Okay, let's see here. We need to put the bird on some wire. So, and we have to decide which beading wire we're going to use. And I'm going to say that I think fluorite is probably the best match. I'm still going to use those little charms. And we're just going to make it into a necklace with these all around. I'm just trying to decide what I want to put in between them. Though you don't have to put anything in between them. Okay, do I want to use fluorite? Yeah, it's the right color. It just looked a little off at first. So I'm just going to cut off probably 16 inches is usually my, this one's 20. So I'm going to take it down just a little bit. Because you know your girl likes to put wire. Oh, this is for a bracelet, Heather, not a necklace. Okay, so now we'll just take this. I'm just going to work on it, cut it off when I'm done. And we'll go from there. Let's go ahead and wire off this. But I am going to pull out my 20 gauge so that it's nice and strong as the focal. So this is not flush cut, which it really doesn't need to be, but I'm going to go ahead and bend this. No, I'm going to do my little knotted head pin. I'm just going to take the very end of the wire in my flat nose pliers and bend it around until you kind of have like a little candy cane color. You're going to leave just the very top of this exposed. You're going to go into one of the grooves of any of your crimping pliers will work and give it a squeeze. Now, it can do that where it crisscrosses back over itself. That's okay because we're going to cut that part of it off. But I do, while I have more room to like grab it, I want to recenter this so that it's not just off to one side. So I think I accomplished that. If not, I'll fix it. It's not completely. Okay, do we want a flower bead cap underneath our little bird? Yes, I think I do. I'm going to be using these in this bracelet, so since I pulled out silver, you could also do the same thing with gold and it would look really pretty. Okay, so just one of the little silver bead caps, 4mm. I got those from Bargain Bead Box. When they have them on sale, I like to snag them up. I'm trying to decide if I want anything above this bird. I'm afraid it will make it too long for a bracelet. So I cut way more wire than I needed to, but that's okay. I'm going to bend that. I'm going to grab my micro round nose pliers. I'm going to go in at an angle like so. I've got to get some of this stuff off my mat because Pixie is trying to focus on too many things and he's having a hard time doing so. Okay. So it's all these baggies that have writing on them. But I didn't know what I wanted. So I had to pull out the companion bundle. And so they're bundled. Pixie just doesn't like all the words on the mat. Okay. I bent that at not quite a 90 degree, but close. I don't have my pliers up and down, nor do I have it this way. What did she say? You really like the birds? Yeah, I love it. I love them. I love them. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to keep my loops small. So I'm just going to go down around. Then I'm going to take my pliers parallel with my mat. Make sure I like to kind of take the wire and wiggle it back and forth to make sure that I have a nice shaped loop. And then I'm going to go around until we get to the part where the loop originally started. Now, back in the day, I would have tightened this down until the bird didn't go back and forth. But I since have done research with where they said that having like the little fidget is actually good. So I like to try to leave that. And I took this wire around just a bit too far. That's an easy fix. Hold on to that because we'll need it at some point, I'm sure. I'm going to go in, I'm going to tuck in that little bit of the ends and then recenter our loop. That has to go this way. Wait, why is that popping down on the bottom? Uh-oh. I can't leave it with a loop. Otherwise the flower doesn't, the bead cap doesn't stay in place. Because the bird is going up and down, so then it gets stuck. So I'm going to do just the bird. I'm not going to add anything to the bird. So we already have our little loop. I'm going to go ahead and make my loop first since I already have that right here. There's already a bend in it. Might as well just take advantage of that. And then, oh, I can't do that. Duh. I have to make my little head pin first. I can't add the bird on and then do this part. Okay, I want you to center some. There we go. Cut off the little bit that kind of crisscrossed over. But don't cut the other side. Put on a bead cap and try again. There we go. No, I'm going to put it on a flat head pin actually, so then it can stay as a fidget on the bracelet. I like that idea better. I can still, no, I don't want to do that. I could still put that on, but I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to bend this back, bring in my round nose pliers, go in at an angle again, a little bit further. This is very strong gauge wire. Very. I'm going to wiggle this just like I did the wire previous. And I'm just going to pull it around, like I said, to where the loop originally starts. I'm going to trim off the excess. Tuck in any ends. And then it's still a fidget. It can be thrown across the room, apparently. Okay, so we have the bird. We have our wire. So this needs to be in the center to be cute. I think bracelet benders, you can go over there in case you decide to use you again. Okay, so I think that, let's see, I think I'm going to need at least one ball spacer on either end just to create the space we need before we go to the larger beads. Good job, Heather. But it's not a video of mine if something doesn't drop, right? Oh my goodness, what are you looking? You're looking for your ball spacers, which are probably somewhere on your desk instead of where they belong. Silvers, little ball spacer, not quite. Here's another silver. I don't want to use the 5mm. I'm looking for the big round container that has like 1,000 of the little ball spacers. I said I didn't have anything planned before I went live. My only other option is I do have these triangle beads, which is where the bigger jar, what the bigger jar is supposed to be attached to. I know that I just had them. And I thought what I heard fall was what I was looking for, but it's not. Okay, I have some itty bitty ones. So we can pull those out to do the same thing. I was just going to do it with the 3mm ball spacer so it gave us more room, but that's okay. Does that put it out far enough? Actually, it's perfect. So we'll go in and we'll put the strawberry, or the cherry quartz on either side. And then I want to do some more, where's the lid for this? I really don't want 2,000 triangle spacers to go all over my thing. Okay, and then I think the way I want to do this is I'm going to want the little silver spacer, pull the camera closer towards you. Okay, hold on. Oh, I think oh, no, you were supposed to go to full screen so nobody got sick. I think I know what you mean. It's too far away from the desk. Is that better? And I can just pull Pixie there. Is that a better position? I like it there better, I think. So, I'm going to pull down some of these silver spacers. They're actually crimp beads, but they work in a pinch. And then I'm going to put a spacer in between. And then do we want a bead cap for the green beads? Let's see what that looks like, shall we? These green beads were perfect. I was so happy to see this as my free gift. This strand of beads, as well as the birds. So everything is coming from, well, not everything. Most of it is coming from my, my thank you gift, my free thank you. Angle towards you. Okay, did I do it better or no? Do I need to pull it a little bit more? Or is it good where it is? It might need to come back just a tad. There we go. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Put the green bead on, and then another bead cap. A bead. And then back to the pink. I like the way that looks. What do you guys think? It's giving off strawberry shortcake vibes, which I love strawberry shortcake, so. Okay, good. I'm glad that's better. See, just a quick and simple. This will go with the pre-night fan necklace that I did earlier. Can you please get off my beading wire? Thank you. Don't need you pulling anything off, sir. I love this shimmer. I like a shimmer finish 1,000 times more than AB. I'm just not a fan of AB. There are very specific exceptions for that, but for the most time, I feel like it's used too much to try to make an ugly bead pretty, and it just looks like a toddler that got into their mom's makeup and has where's my other view? There it is. Got into their mother's lipstick and like has it all around. That's what poor AB reminds me of every time. Another bead cap, a green bead, the other bead cap, that bead. Okay, let's do the other side for a moment. Let it catch up. You guys, these are just such simple colors, and this bracelet could totally be for a kid or for an adult. You know, there are some people that will love these colors put together. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I'm just now saying this. So when I was at my doctor today, there was this lady that was checking out after, like, she came up behind. She had the biggest, most epic cherry quartz necklace on, like the big square like chunky beads that I get every once in a while, where I only use one, and she just had them stacked, and there was this huge pendant right in the middle and everything else. And I was like, oh my gosh, I make jewelry. And she's like, oh, you do? Maybe you could help me. And I was like, well, what? And she's like, the clasp on this is too damn small. I'm old. I don't want to sit there and fight with my jewelry anymore. And my hubby's hands are getting old too. So he's not much of a help for me. And I was just cracking up. But I did give her my information so that, changing out a box class for something smaller is easy money. I cannot believe that I cut my thumbnail on the Beadalon knotting tool. It just took that whole, it was my fault. I wasn't using it correctly, but it still hurt. I got the part, like the V, this part, and I wasn't paying attention, and I like went, because when you like push up to get that close, it goes straight up, and I wasn't thinking. I was holding it like this and went, and the edge of my fingernail caught in that little V. Oh my word, it hurt. It still hurts. That's why I had problems opening my order earlier, because I couldn't. You don't realize how much you use a part of your body until it stops working. Okay, I need another green and another pink on this. And then I think that we're going to be done. Because like I said, this could be used for a child or an adult. Depends on what your personal style is. And I love when people like all these pastel colors and don't care what people think. Okay, I know this isn't the way to tell, but I'm just gonna, oh, we're only at 6 inches. Let's go ahead and add a green bead at the end since we started with the cherry quartz. And then that will be the last bead. And it should get us exactly where we need to get for the bracelet length. Look how good I'm picking up stuff off my mat. Maybe you just need an actual bead mat. Okay, I think that's good. I do not have a mandrel that I see right near me, so I'm gonna check it against my wrist. Yeah, that's perfect, because I'm like 7 1/4. So make sure that there's the same, yes. Okay, so we're gonna start over here. I did pull out my silver crimps before. I did go hunting for those. See, this is another thing that I can't get open, because I'm so used to using the thumb on my left hand. There we go. Although I did have all of those crimp beads right in front of me. Let's go ahead and direct crimp because I have some. No, I'm not going to use that on this one. I'm going to look for, I wanted to use my heart clasps for there, because I just like them. I'm going to order more. I really do like them. I think they're so cute, and I'm starting to see them all in other designer stuff, like on Pinterest and stuff, so they are very much on trend right now. And I keep forgetting to put up my crimper video. But the new ones are a dream. Crimp once, turn it. Okay, there it goes. I'm going to cut off the excess. I like to get right up against there and typically have room to grab that to make sure that it's super tight, but it is. Okay, then we can put this all down. Grab another crimp bead and a silver jump ring. I think I'm gonna go with this size, which I believe is 5 millimeter. I need to measure all of these. Okay, are these ones open, or is this the combo of the closed jump rings that I found? Well, if it was soldered, I just popped it open. Man, that sucks. It's okay though. I'll just close it up real good. It might have been opened and I'm being silly, but alright. First bead, drop down my jump ring, go back through the crimp tube, which is a Beadalon size 2. These are for 2.2 millimeter crimps. Make sure this isn't too tight. It is not. I don't want my loop quite that big because earlier my class tried to go and tie on with, no, Heather, this jump ring is getting in my way and on my last nerve. Okay, it's coming off. I will put it on later or get a new one since I've now opened that twice. I'm trying to untwist this wire. There we go. Yes, it still closes nicely. Magical crimper. Once. Twice. No resistance on the third. Easy peasy. We're going to go ahead and put that jump ring back on. If it was soldered though, it shouldn't have been that easy to pop the solder joint. I know some people don't like to connect, like to do a hard connection point, because they're like, what if you have a problem with the clasp, or what if you, then you cut that part off and just use a jump ring to then add on whichever new thing that you're doing. I really like that. Again, I see this is both an adult and a kid. You can't use a small class. Yeah. Wow. Love it. You heard what? What did you hear? What did I do now? You got me over here going, wait, what did I do? You know what? I want to do something with this gorgeous wire and the leopard skinned jasper, because it's like the perfect color to go with it. I'm pretty sure it's just copper wire that's like going through the tarnish phase, but I'm obsessed with this color. I love it. It's so pretty. You guys, like in person, oh my word. I think we'll just do a quick and easy link bracelet with these. I'm going to use my hybrid loop. So this is way more wire than I need, but I'd rather not make a challenge for myself if I don't have to, especially not on camera. Okay, so put that up there. I'm also going to do a wrapped bracelet with that. I'm going to do it around a copper core, but you won't see the copper core. Oh, these. She had chunks like this. This big. I was like, no wonder you're at a pain doctor. That necklace cannot be helping. I could do a crimp link. I've done that before. It looks really cool. Let's do that. Okay. Take this one off. I'm going to put the lid on the rest of it so that it doesn't get knocked over and spill everything. I am trying to work smarter, like this thing, so it doesn't go completely out of whack. Okay. First things first, we are going to need to create our first loops, but we will not finish them until we put the chip beads on. So we're just going to go down and I'm going to bend it right about there. It should be good. If it's not, we'll find out, right? I'm going to come here and I'm going to do the first part of my loop, which I can complete the whole way around, and then we'll just attach using the other side of this. Okay, pull that to the side, put it down. I don't know why I put this pliers down. This is assembly line style, and it is actually faster. I timed myself doing so, and it did go faster than putting down and picking up the same tool over and over again. Come on, don't get crazy. Could not, well, I probably could get that one around if I just tried. Yeah, it's insane. But I don't know who would have put a small clasp on a necklace of that magnitude. And then when I said that I have tutorials that I do, she got very excited. She's like, that would make my life so much easier if I could just figure out how to do this stuff myself, because it never seems to fail when I go to her with like a small repair or change. Then I always end up ordering or buying another piece, which I'm really hopeful that's not the intent. Where are my other black pliers? Right there. Okay, pull that, cut off the tail. Put that down. Same thing with this loop. Just make sure it's nice and strong. And I'm still putting down, picking up, I know. This one just needs to go around a tad bit more so it's on the side, not on the back. Yeah, exactly. You can make it how you want with what you want, and you're the only one that has it. So, like, I never go to an event or something worrying that other people are going to be wearing the same jewelry that I am. Because unless they ordered it from me, they won't be able to find it. So, it's kind of a win-win. Okay, I'm going to pull this little line a little bit tighter. That's why I generally wrap with pliers, but one more, and then we can add chip beads to these, join them to the next link, and I'm just like obsessed with this color. I'm gonna be bummed if it's not actually like just oxidizing. Alright, so I want to find some smaller ones because I just don't want like the great big huge ones like this one. It is center drilled, but it's still big. And for on the wrist, I just want like 2 or 3 small ones. And then we can make a loop and add it to the next bead. Oh, come on. Don't tell me you guys aren't going to fit on this wire. And then I'm going to bend this wire. I'm going to make my little loop, my hybrid link. And then I need to grab my pliers. And I almost forgot to connect it. Which, if I did that, I either would just rewrap it or just opt to make jump rings, whichever I thought would be faster. Okay. Now we're going to come in there, we're going to grab our other pair of pliers and pull this back around and to the other side. My loop is not in the direction it should be. It's like all bent out of shape. Okay, there we go. Come on, wire. There you go. Now it's around like it's supposed to be. Cut off that tail. Put in any little ends. Grab the next chip beads. 1, 2. Sometimes if you go in on the other hole, you can find that maybe there was just some dust in the middle of the bead from the drilling process. Bend this back. And I am using my bell making pliers to make sure that all of the loops are the same size. And then if there are any loops, I need to go in and center or whatever else after I'm done with the bracelet. I'll probably do so all at once. And I may need to make a couple more pieces of wire. I know I'm going to need to make my clasp because obviously I don't have any clasps in this color. So, see, like that one just needed to be reminded that it was actually fully drilled. And this one's going to be the exception. It doesn't want to go on this wire. I didn't think it was thick. But it does, now that I'm looking at it, look like 20 gauge. There we go. I'm actually going to bend that way because there's the way the beads are sitting, it makes it easier to wrap because there's nothing right there, but on the other side there was that little point that I didn't want to mess with. So I will have to go back and fix this loop. What did you just do, Heather? Okay, oops, that one just broke. The little chip bead. Which I don't understand. Oh. Okay. Okay. You guys like? Oh, yeah, honey, go right to sleep. I'm happy. I hope that you have a good, you're able to sleep tonight. Come on, go all the way down. There's like a gap, but there we go. Yeah, this is probably copper in the like beginning stages of oxidation because my tool just kind of scraped down the wire and like there was no plating or anything that came off when I did so, and I forgot to attach this one. I should have just put all of the beads on, then went back, did all of the next step like I was doing at the beginning of this and need to go back to rather than fighting with these. I don't know what the heck happened to this lid. That's better. Okay, put that down. Put the next beads on. Hopefully this will help me to remember to add that on. What's your feelings on chip beads, Leah? Do you like using them? Are they something you'll use if they like came in a bead box, but not something you would personally seek out to like buy outside of a bead box? That one's too big. There's 2 other people on here, so if you want to chat, feel free to say hello. We don't bite unless asked to. Just kidding. Kind of. One, two. One, two. Okay. Hopefully that is enough. And then we'll use that to make jump rings and the clasp. And then I had one other quick design, and then I'm going to follow Brandy off to bed once I finish this, and then I want to do another. Let's just go ahead and add this now. It might be easier that way. I'll attach one on either side, and then we'll just continue to go the other way. But at least we know these 2 will be on right away. Grab onto the wire and just bend it around. And on a recent video, I did show how the hybrid loop is the same strength as you get the same security without all of the without all of the wraps taking up space, giving you less room for your designs. Because if I had triple wrapped all these, I would be just about done. Hold on, I gotta wiggle this one before I put it on. There we go. That's a nice little loop. Put this on the other side. Close it up. Do the one little wrap. And then we can go ahead and add beads to our links on either side. And then create more that we will connect as we go. The only time that it's not as strong as when you get to 24 and 26 gauge wire, but you get that with 2 triple wraps anyways, and it's not even like, it's just simpler. So yeah, I think I hear my hubby up. He's probably wondering where the heck I'm at. But it's okay. Okay, none of these want to go on. So let's pour a few more out. We don't have that many more links to do. There we go. Second one there. Right there. Then the wire down. I would just stop here, but I want to show you guys a quick and simple clasp that you can do. I'm going to leave that there until I get to this loop. Oh, I can actually just close it and add that by leaving the loop open. So this doesn't have as many bracelets as like Becky's and other people, but they generally have their designs figured out ahead of time. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but I hadn't actually laid everything out, which I probably should have done. I could have made some of these links ahead of time if I had done that, but it is, like it says, a spontaneous, oops, I almost forgot to join that, a spontaneous decision to go live. I came on late the other night and had quite a few viewers, so because a lot of us are insomniacs. Oh goodness, wait, no, that's okay. Okay, go to the other side, stack some beads, and you could even just do part of this and then create a loop and put leather on either end so that you had leather for the underneath part of your wrist rather than, we might do that actually. We might just add this last link and do that. That way, if the person that ultimately and hopefully ends up buying will have, won't hit when they're typing. At work or whatnot, even, well, wherever they want to type. Okay. I'm gonna turn this. It can be harder to wrap loops when, yeah, you're usually up at this time. Yeah, but girl, you're up even later. You're 3 hours ahead of me. I don't know that I could do all of that. Well, back in the day I could have. But now I take the valerian root and passion flower, and they have done wonders for my insomnia. Okay, trim this in. And then we have one more to add to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we don't, because I want to keep it an odd number. Okay, let's just grab some of this 1.5 millimeter brown leather. I'm going to cut it at about 5 inches. I'm going to cut a couple of lengths of this wire, and you'll see why in just a second. I need it to be longer. I'm gonna one that's shorter. Okay. Oh, I could use that, but that's all right. Okay, so all we're gonna do is we're gonna put our leather through our hole and bend it like so. Then we're gonna take one of these 6-inch pieces of wire, and hopefully I can manage this. Any other time of night, I probably wouldn't be able to. Okay. Dang it. This wire is a little bit more. This should actually be long enough. If I do this on both sides. Let me see what the length for that turns out to be, because then I can just use one of my little cord ends. Let me see. Okay, this is like 8 inches. So it's more than it needs to be. So, dang it, where is my mantle? I know it's going to be too long if I leave any more than this on. I need to take about 1 inch off of both sides. Grab my little round crimps, or, oh yeah, I like it because it holds on to it better. Only problem is I don't have copper, but I do have antique bronze, brass, whatever you want to call it, which pairs together nicely with the copper. All I was going to do was wrap wire around up here to make my loop, but there might be enough room to do a, because then I can use my smaller crimps. Let me see, there should be enough. Ah, I dropped the other piece of leather. Where did you go, sir? Okay, we need a little barrel knot, 2 bead, whatever you choose to call it. Kelly Sutton kind of coined them and used them in other ways, which was when she was knotting and called it a barrel knot tube. She has since retired and no longer has stores / inventory, so that doesn't work. Okay, I'm gonna make my own barrel knot real quick because I really wanted to do one more design. So all I'm gonna do is use this, and I recommend doing at least 18 gauge wire, and I am pulling on this as I'm wrapping it, which will help it work harden by doing so. It's not necessary. I just like it because it creates a nice strong coil. It's gotta come up. A nice and strong coil so that if I have to like move it around and stuff, I can do so. And it will go back to its shape, much like memory wire does. Okay. I don't need a full 1.25 inches, but if I'm gonna make one, I wanna make one all the way. That's good enough, that's about 1 inch. You're gonna wanna make sure that your ends are not sharp so they don't mar your leather. Mine need to be sanded down ever so slightly. Just to kind of smooth out the edges here. That's better. Same thing with the other side. I need to measure exactly how much wire this takes so that I know. I like to file ahead of time. That is one. That doesn't need to be on the mat. Okay, let's try this again. We're going to put the leather on top, put our barrel, our 2 bead in place, and we're going to go around once. And nope, you got to go towards your hand, Heather. Twice. I prefer my barrel knots to only have 2, which is not always the case. It's just more often than not the case that I prefer that. Man, I cut that close, didn't I? Lucky me, man. And because we used the added length that I was going to have and double it over, I had enough to be able to knot it like this instead. How big is my loop? That's what I thought. Scooch up just a bit. Okay, that side is going to have to be trimmed, which I will do after. I don't think this is long enough to make it an extender link. It's not. So I will put some cord ends on this and call it good to go. I'm a little 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I want that way. I need my bracelet mandrel so I can measure this properly, or it will drive me nuts. So we're going to put that off to the side, finish our last little bracelet, and then I'm going to go crash out, and I hope you are able to do the same, Leah. I poured these out where my bead caps and the little crimp beads that I use for spacers. So it's making it a little bit harder to pick up. I've got most of it. I will finish the other when I'm done. And luckily I do have some copper cord ends that have already started to turn as well, but I could also just put them in liver of sulfur. Okay. Let's do a really simple I'm wondering something. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm wondering if we could use the Softflex and use that for our square knots around a thicker piece of leather. I've never tried it, but I think it could be fun. And then I could put the seed beads on the side. Let me see. It's gonna matter on which colors I have. I have that one. The other one had sticky bits on it. This would be a time to do it because I do have a lot of, I was able to get a really good deal on multiple colors a while back. I want to see, where's my fluorite one? I want to see what this green, it actually looks beautiful. Okay, let's try it. Your body isn't tired yet? Yeah. Your silicone off of Amazon, hon. So I'm gonna pull out like 24 and a smidge inches, and we're gonna give this concept a try. Sorry for hitting the camera. Okay, and then we need a 3mm piece of leather. I think I want to do it on like the dark brown color. There it is. I'm excited to see what you made with your, you cannot soft like, just make sure your piece is long enough. Okay. So here's some dark brown leather. I'm just gonna cut it at 7 inches. No, let's go about 8.5. Just to make sure. And then all I'm going to do is grab this T-pin and I'm going to put it through the end of this leather that I will eventually cut off, because it will have been weakened by me poking a hole in it. If I'm strong enough to go through this leather. That's how good Leather Core USA's leather is. I cannot get a T-pin through it. Okay, I'll do it in my hands. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we're going to start with the soft flex. We want to marry up our ends. I hope 24 inches is enough. I'm not going to do the full length of the leather. I'm just going to do the leather on top. So I'm going to start on this side, and I'm going to take my left over the top of the piece of leather. Then I'm going to take the right cord, go under the left cord, up and through the loop, and then very carefully try to tighten this with both sides remaining the same size, which I managed to do. Okay, pull a little tight, but not so tight that it mars your leather. Oh, I think there we go. The nub was on the underside, which we don't want. So then I'm going to take the other side, I'm going to go over the leather cord, I'm then going to take the left piece, I'm going to go over the right, underneath the leather, and pull it up through that loop. Now, I'm going to go ahead and retighten the first half of that knot, which I just did. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get what I want this to look like. I don't want it that tight. I was hoping that it would like sit. Let me go ahead and make a second one real quick. See how that sits on the round leather and where the little ends end up going. It doesn't want to stay tight, is the problem, until you pull the second half. See, this one just wants to pop up. Okay, there's two. Now we're going to take some of our dark seed beads. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know it's not an easy task to keep them centered, especially not that centered. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is pick up, I should actually do the first half of my knot first. Yes. So I need to do the first half of my square knot. And then I can put the beads on. And I think I'm going to try 5 and see what that looks like. You could do it with just one, which would look fine if you were using any other leather than what I am. And it's not because there's anything wrong with the leather. It's actually the opposite. I might need 7, but we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As Count Dracula would say on Sesame Street. Okay. Then I'm going to come to do the other side, making sure that the beads stay within the knot. And yes, I just turned that upside down to help myself. Oh no, don't do that. Ugh, they just went everywhere. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Get the seed beads back where they need to be. Yeah, this might just be something I need to play with off camera before I try to demonstrate it like I know what I'm talking about. I don't have to hold my beads upside down in order to get them where I want them. No, stay above the wrap. Yeah, this is something I'm going to have to play around with before I demonstrate it, if I demonstrate it, considering that was just a train wreck. Okay, there was something else that I wanted to do if this one didn't work out. Oh, the rondelles, the faceted rondelles from June's box. I'm gonna have quite a bit to clean up before I go live tomorrow morning. Thankfully, I don't go live until like 11 o'clock my time, so I can sleep in if I want to. Okay, let's open these up. I want to use these, the copper lined seed beads. Maybe a couple of antique copper spacer beads just to tone down the pinkness of everything. Instead, we can add a darker shade of a similar color and it kind of tones it down and it's not so in your face pink. Okay, those are jump rings. I got those. I got those. I also have, I could use these too in between. They're just little spacers that have flowers on them. So grab the rest of our soft flex from last time. Do I want a center for this? If I do, it's going to just be a short little thing. Pull those out. Let's see. Do I have a good I was trying to see if I had any larger green beads right here, other than the ones I already used. I'm gonna throw my random stuff. Okay. I know I got antique copper stuff in this. I'm hoping it wasn't just the ear wires. I thought I got some bead caps, but I may not have. I don't think I did. Okay. Let me check something real quick. We might do a little bit of a pivot, but that's okay. Let's see if I can get this. Okay. We're going to pivot, but we will do this project maybe tomorrow morning. I'm going to move these aside because I have other antique copper stuff. That's why I'm like, we'll just push this one to the side. For this one, I'm going to need a length of my turquoise wire. Because I'm going to use one of these little links, maybe more. How short did you just cut this? Oh no, it's 8 inches. It's okay. because I have these little spacers, and all I want to do is add a little silver. Oh, I had 1.5 millimeter leather pulled out. Why am I doing it on beading wire? Here's a piece that I just pulled out. Yeah, let's do it on this dark brown leather. So now we have to be a little bit more careful with our choices, but literally all I wanted to do was take these and alternate them back and forth on some leather. So, oh, there's my silver ball pins. Now we just have to choose what size of pearl, because I have that. I have the big ones, I have little ones, and then slightly bigger ones than those. So let's try them and see if we want to match size or if we want the pearl to just be an accent. Yeah, I think I might want to do a smaller pearl in between 4 of those links, of which I just had the bag in my hand. Here's another one. But I had an open pack. Because I think the turquoise. I know, I love these. I love these little spacers. I will probably put more in my cart before I go live tomorrow so that I don't have to worry about it. The only thing I'm wondering is I do have some, I think I have some antique silver spacers that are actually large hole and would go perfect with these, or I have some beads that I could put in with it, like here. I just love the texture of metal and wood, or please go on here. You're just a smidge too big, so we might have to go to 1.5 millimeter, which is fine because we happen to have it right here. But before I abandon ship on the other side, let's make sure this leather goes through, and it does. Okay, so we're going to use this one. Or should we use black? I think black would be a better option. What is this attached to? It's just an extra piece of leather. Yeah, I think the go-to is going to be the black leather. Okay, so if we put the turquoise link in the middle, and then we did that as a spacer, put the tiny pearls on, and then another spacer after that. But I want to see if my 3 millimeter ball spacers have a large enough hole. Because I know if I find out, if I search out my, I have other beads. I don't know what I'm saying here. I know I have all of these, like, literally silver ones that I believe go on to the 1.5 inch leather. They do. If I put them at an angle, I can get them in. But on my 3 millimeter, do they have a large enough hole? I don't want to use 1mm leather because A, it's not as strong. This is not Leather Cord USA leather. This is some I just had in my stash. I just think these spacers are a little bit too like overpowering and don't leave enough space between one bead until the next. So I'm just looking to see what other things I have. I can always just pull out, where did it go? My 16 gauge silver wire and make some little jump rings, but we'll use them as spacers, which we'll do just by winding ourselves some jump ring style coils, and they will be cut like a jump ring, but then they will be used as if it's a spacer. Or do my triangle beads fit on? I wonder if these would fit on the 1.5 inch leather. Isn't the leather I want to use, but we can test it with these. Nope. 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 Dang it. I just want a little more space between those. What about these spacers? Nope. Dang it. Okay, so then where is my 1.5mm? We could even use the natural tone that I have, because that could look cool with the turquoise. This is 1.5. Nope. I might not be able to do this on leather like I had planned, but that's okay because I can use bead tubing inside these or the large hole pearls if it's necessary. Though I don't need to use large hole pearls, obviously. I can just use regular size pearls because they will be on regular beading wire, so that will fix the issue. We'll be able to use the spacers we want. Where are my near round ones? Right? There's some that are close. Okay, let's grab our turquoise wire right here. Put a clippy on it so I don't lose any beads off the other end. And now we could use any spacer we so choose, and or bead cap. Nope, those are going to be a little bit too small. I don't want to use a lot of pearls. I kind of just want to use a few. Let me see what this size looks like next to... I think that could actually be kind of cool. How many of those size do I have? They're kind of all over the place. So those ones match and those ones match. That one goes with that. If I find my pearl box, the original pearl box that I quickly outgrew. There are more of those in here. There's that one, and come on, you can give me one more. That's a large whole bead. That's not what I want. Is this one? Nope. That one is the next size up. This one kind of pearl. I'm on a fishing expedition and nothing's biting. Goodness gracious. Okay, I have 4 of the pearls. So if I do a pearl, and I'm going to put a bead cap on it, but just these itty bitty ones. A pearl, another little flower bead cap, going the opposite way, and then pick up one of the little spacer beads. I forgot to send Rosanna these extra things. Okay, and then we put our turquoise on. Yes, I like the sizing of that. I think it, yeah, you can totally use them as spacers. They work perfectly. Like these ones are like 3mm. And if you just place one, like you pop a bead on, and then an appropriate jump ring, and then another bead on, so that it stays set in between them, then you just have that extra little bit of metal there. So, let's put another silver bead on. And then we need the bead caps that are covered up by leopard skin jasper chip beads. We only need 8, come on. Okay. Yeah, I think this is going to be good. Keeping it simple, but effective. the next, oh, here it is, turquoise. Put one on this side, and then I need a crimp bead on here, and then put this on. Oh, I'm liking this. I like it a lot. The only thing I'm wondering is if I need to go to the 3mm ball spacer, or maybe increase my length by putting one of these in between each. So I'm going to see what that looks like over the little spacers. I actually really like that. Okay, we're going to replace the little ball spacers real quick, just because I think it looks better. I like it having more space in between and not just so I can add to my length. I genuinely like the way that looks better. I wonder what the little silver triangle would look like. Oh, yep, that's what we're doing. Triangle, and then this metal bead, another triangle, and I'll bring it up just shortly. And then I might even, no, that's way too much. Okay, and then we're gonna add a bead cap, one of our pearls. Is that going to be too much silver? Put on the next turquoise. Another triangle bead. And then I don't know what these are called. They remind me of fire polish, but they're not fire polish. They're silver. But my second pearl for this side. Put on another one of these beads, like so. We have 2 more pearls to add on, and then we might have to do some chain around the back. Is that too much, Leah? Oh, you can't even see. Is that too much space between the pearls and the turquoise? Let me see something really quick. If we go silver and triangle. Silver. Yeah, I like that better. It's a little bit, yeah, I'm going to swap it off. Pixie, you need to back it up. Okay, so This is not going to be enough cord. It's like 7.5. That would have made me mad. Had I beaded this whole thing only to find out that my cording wasn't long enough, it will, believe you me, it will still get used. I gotta spend this weekend getting my desk cleared off. Or not necessarily completely cleared off, but organized. Better organization. Okay, put this one. The little C-clip, where did it just go? This is for a little one. I just had it. I just took it off. Unless I dropped it or something. Because now I can't see it. But. Okay. This one is much larger. We're going to put the turquoise in the center. I'm going to do this small little bead and then a triangle and then the small little bead again. And then I'm going to do a bead cap, a pearl, and keep going thereafter. I think that will give us better spacing so that the beads that are on the larger side don't start to look like they belong on the same bracelet. So, and then this will be the last one. And I'll be heading up to bed. Leah, I hope you'll be able to do the same. If not, I can always come meet you in my dreams, right? In my subconscious. Yes, I like this so much better. Do you agree? I just think it looks more, the smaller beads in between I think makes it like it doesn't look as big of a bracelet with the tiny spacers on. So we're going to do another bead cap. Another one of our pearls that doesn't want to go on my beading wire unless I pick it up. I'm probably crazy, but to me it looks a lot daintier. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It just works. Okay. Another flower. And then I'm going to do a pearl on either side. And that should finish it up nicely. If there's any room left out, then I can just add chain around it. Triangle beads are over here. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to use a jewelry tutorial tomorrow or if I want to do a beginner's class for Canva, because I've been asked by a couple of people. I just don't know if that's either like a private lesson, if I want to do it as a recorded video, which to be honest, I thought I had already done that, but it wasn't with it wasn't, like, it didn't say intro to Canva or anything like that. Okay, another spacer, a triangle, spacer. I'm going to do the pearl on the opposite side and then decide if I want another turquoise on the other side. But I'm a fan of this. I like the way that it's turning out. That may sound vain of me, but we gotta celebrate the small wins. I'm certainly not gonna let anybody else's opinion keep me from doing so. Because I like this bracelet a lot, a lot, a lot. Not to mention that this would become a bracelet like that gives you more of a design buffer and a larger profit margin, which is okay. Just like when I do something in Scottsdale or Chandler or any of the ritzier neighborhoods there, they get a different price sheet altogether because they can afford more. Okay, I know I have some more of these pearls somewhere in my stash. I just don't have them, so now I just have to decide if I want to put another turquoise bead on either side. What to do, what to do. That would even be a beautiful necklace. So much so that I might have to do it and just break out some of my nice 8mm, because this is a beautiful necklace and I think it would make a gorgeous like pair of earrings, just like that. There you go. It's good to go. Hi, Delon. Mwah. How are you? Thank you. Yes, I'm trying to decide if I want to do one more turquoise on here or if I just want to end it at this pearl and start the chain. And then, like I said, I see this as a necklace and an earring set. I will probably just do some of these larger pearls or not. I really like this size. I might just have to go grab some 8mm ones from Bernie. I have some that are like a large hole, but they're not the same size. Here's the 8. Yeah, see, they're bigger and they're not as nice. You could even do a Y necklace with like one of these Baroque oval pearls. That would be really, you guys cannot, oh, you can see. That would be really pretty. But without that there. So it would be like all pearl pretty, or that way, because this wouldn't be there. Okay, do you want to put another turquoise on either side or call it good right here and use chain or leather around the back? I just run into the same problem that I did on the other piece, which was I need my mandrel to measure it. I can't believe I can only find 4 of those pearls. I want to do those are shell pearls, not freshwater pearls. I have this one, but it's more football shaped than round. And those other pearls are so pretty. I wouldn't want to put a lesser quality bead with it. So, this may end up being a to be continued project once I can go get more pearls in this size. Because I'm going to need them if I'm going to do a bracelet. So I think I am going to add one more turquoise on just so... Oh, wait. Heather, you don't want to do that. You only ordered 4 of these. It's 2-pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's 2, and then I have these 2. Okay, I'm going to have to go put these in my cart for in the morning when the value bundle comes out. Yeah, it needed to be finished with this because this is really pretty. So I'll just pay for expedited shipping so I can get it sooner, which is what I did with my companion bundle, so that I get it a day or 2 earlier. The other one should be here by tomorrow, Saturday at the latest. But another crimp bead, another triangle, and another crimp bead, and then we will crimp this off since I don't have a bracelet mandrel right here, and I'm not going to try. I'm too short to get them from where Steve has them anyways. So, otherwise I would have grabbed one before I went live. Okay, here we go. We're going to put the silver bead, a triangle, the silver bead. We're going to grab out some silver clam shells, I hope. Please don't tell me the only silver crimps I have are the roll-up ones. Those are kind of like my arch nemesis. I ordered them way back when, thinking like they were better. They're not. Oh. Okay. I guess I'm going to have to do the roll-up crimps. I can always take them off later and put on some regular. I'll just use side closures. Okay, so if I remember correctly, you put this, oh, I don't need the last round bead because the crimp will mimic the round bead, so it'll be good. Alright, I'm going to stick it like so. I'm going to grab my crimps. Heather, you're going to put your silver back where they belong. I have seriously never used these. I'm hoping that the crimp tubes fit in there, but I don't think they're going to. No, those are too big. So instead, I will just use those little silver beads because they are in fact crimp beads. If I don't send them flying across the room for no reason. And then I'll just, I may or may not cut it. It just depends. I'm going to pull this up here. Then I'm going to use my precision pliers. I'm going to come in here. And I'm going to squish that crimp bead. Pull tight. We got a good connection. I'm going to cut that off. close it up. And I'm going to take my round nose pliers and grab the end of this little loop-de-loop, and I'm going to roll it around till it stops right on top. Like I said, I don't know how these are secure. They don't make sense to me. So that's why I haven't used them yet. And then I will add my chain on in the morning. Once I have a mandrel, I will ask my hubby to get it down for me before he goes to work. I'm going to make sure that that is in there well. I'm going to crimp, do a tug test. We are good to go. In there, close that up. Grab my round nose pliers. Okay, and then I will add some chain onto this tomorrow, but I'm loving this bracelet. And like I said, I definitely gonna do it. Oh yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm definitely going to this collection. So yes, I'll probably get it. I haven't even watched the preview yet. Maybe I'll do that as I'm trying to fall asleep, because I need to put more of these in my cart before they're gone. Like other things that I've really, really loved, and then they are snatched up before I can order more. So I think that's it for tonight, ladies. Thank you. I know I can't wait for you to get your order. I can't wait to hear about it. Are you going to do an unboxing? That would be cool. And or go leave a review on my Facebook business page. Alright, I gotta sign off and get ready for bed. Have a wonderful day with your grandson. Delon, I know this is your time with him. And thank you guys for hopping on. It was just fun. So I was awake. I was going to be beading, so I figured I'd rather do it with friends than by myself. So that's why I created this. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you're able to get some sleep, Leah. But as always, and until next time, everyone, happy beading.